Hi, welcome to the project introduction for the MR538 and MR600 corridor strategy video. We have two presenters today. The first is Clinty Ross from Council, who is the Project Manager Infrastructure Planning. And we also have Andrew Eek, who is the Project Manager from Vitsios Consulting, who is leading the development of the Drive corridor strategy. My name is Lisa Prowse. I'm working with Vitsios team and I'll be facilitating the workshops that are happening now across the next couple of weeks. All right, I'll just hand over to Clinton, who will take you through some overarching project information.
The Port Macquarie-Hasting Council is currently developing long-term corridor strategy for the Hastings River Drive and Ocean Drive to Kendall corridor. This is quite a long corridor of 54 kilometres and services neighbouring local towns and villages along the coast and then inland into Kew and Kendall. This strategy will focus on preserving the corridor and setting out a broad design framework for the future of the transport network on this corridor. This is for all users, including traffic, walking, cycling and public transport. Defining future priorities for future road maintenance, operation and the safety of all road users.
So the corridor strategy development will involve a series of stages. The first of the stages will be a review and alignment with councils and the region's planning policies, studies and strategies to date. And then from there, we'll be looking at developing up a series of visions and objectives for each of the particular sections. We'll then be understanding and assessing the existing corridor performance. Now that will involve a review of the existing factors that influence the corridor. That would be the performance of the corridor with respect to traffic operations, road safety and crash history, assets such as pavement, culverts and bridges, and environmental impacts such as flooding and conservation areas. We'll then be looking at community factors. That may be land use planning and placemaking, particularly along the local centres along the corridor, and also from the previous CCAT input and the information that relates directly to the corridor, particularly relevant for Lake Cat-Eye, Bonny Hills, North Haven, and out to Kendall and Kew. Following that, we'll be looking at the future growth needs of the corridor. So that's understanding some of the future planning and growth areas. For instance, Area 14 between Bonny Hills and Lake Cat-Eye, Area 15 out near Kew, and employment centres such as around the Port Macquarie Airport. And understanding the traffic requirements and then the spatial requirements associated with any additional infrastructure and corridor widening that may be required in future years. From there, from the corridor performance, we will be looking to preserve the corridor for future needs and setting up prioritised work packages for council to incorporate into their future funding. We're very much at the ground floor for the study, and we'll be developing up the study over the next 6 to 8 months. I'll just give you a brief overview of the 10 sections of the entire corridor. So it's 54 kilometres long, very, very long corridor, starting along the Old Pacific Highway to the north of the Hastings River and travelling along Hastings River Drive into Port Macquarie up to the intersection with the Oxley Highway, where it turns into Ocean Drive, which is section 3, carrying through Port Macquarie, and then down towards Lake Cat-Eye and through Lake Cat-Eye, and then around through what's known as Area 14 growth area, and then into Bonny Hills and passing through Bonny Hills down to North Haven, and then out towards Kew, passing through Kew and also incorporating Nancy Bird Walton Drive, which is the Old Pacific Highway and now the ramps accessing the Pacific Highway, and out to via Kendall Road and River Street out to Kendall. There's a range of land uses that we're passing, from everything from residential, commercial, primary production and conservation areas as well. The main focus as well is managing the movement function of the corridor as well as the place function of the corridor, and really understanding the differences and particular aspects that relate to these particular sections. And that's why the sections and separate assessments for each sections is so important for this study. So as I said, we're at the ground stage for this study. We're at an information gathering phase, and we're really looking for input from the community for this study. I'll just hand over to Clinton about how you can actually provide your input.
Thanks, Andrew. So there will be a series of workshops that will be run within each local community, and to represent the Port Macquarie and Bonny Hills, Lake Caddo, Kew, Kendall, etc. And if you would like to register your interest, please do so on the Have Your Say page for the development of the corridor strategy. This will be run by Lisa and Andrew, and your involvement will be greatly appreciated. It will definitely help inform the study and provide a deeper understanding of how this corridor can be used within the local area, how it interacts with the local area, and what the local area needs for the future. Thank you.